The Minnesota Vikings, to me, are not a good football team.
Fraudulent. I know their quarterback is fraudulent.
But I'm going to go with the Lions right there. It gives me no pleasure to do that, so very fortunate to go out there and make it to the playoffs this year. At least you won't lose in the playoffs because I have you for 8 wins.
Yes, you read that title correctly. The biggest frauds of 2022, the 0-4 Super Bowl record, the team who got embarrassed by the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game just to have them win the Super Bowl in their brand new home stadium. The 1998 team that missed a 38-yard field goal by the perfect regular season kicker just to lose in the NFC Championship game. Yes, those same Minnesota Vikings are a team that the NFL should be afraid of going into the 2023-2024 NFL season. But let me explain why. Reason number 1. Offensive consistency for Kirk Cousins. Since quarterback Kirk Cousins signed with the Minnesota Vikings in 2018, he has had 4 different offensive coordinators, which equals 4 different offensive schemes, 4 different play designs, and 4 different relationships. Not to mention a head coach he wasn't 100% confident in. Going into the next season, he now has the same offensive coordinator in Wes Phillips and the same head coach in Kevin O'Connell for the first time since he signed with the team. And that's a huge thing, because he has experience working with these guys and they now know how to work together and succeed as a unit. They know how to communicate efficiently, when to run the ball, when to let Kirk Cousins take over the game, and much more tiny details that many fans would never think would benefit a quarterback. Without having to memorize a whole different set of plays and their unique names and audibles, Kirk and the offense can now focus on mastering the scheme instead of learning it this offseason. Reason number 2, Brian Flores. In the 2022 NFL season, the Vikings defense was a bottom 10 defense, and that's being somewhat generous. They allowed the 3rd most points per game, 2nd most yards per game, and were 20th in total sacks. But I watched every game, and I will tell you that it wasn't because of the lack of talent on the roster, but primarily a lack of adjustments, disguise, and aggressiveness from defensive coordinator Ed Donatel. He had his cornerbacks always playing soft cushion coverage nearly 10 yards off the ball. When the 4-man pass rush wasn't getting home, he was reluctant in sending any blitz packages. The defense was not disguised in its coverages. You saw 2 defensive backs deep in the backfield. It's cover 2 shell coverage or shell man coverage 90% of the time. With Brian Flores, this is a guy who is not afraid to speak his mind. A coach who just wants to get his team to perform to the best of their abilities and win. When I initially heard the news, I was ecstatic as a Vikings fan because the NFL totally disrespected his ability as he went from being a linebackers coach on the Patriots to the head coach of the Miami Dolphins for 3 seasons, and then back to linebackers coach with the Steelers. I mean, a 24-25 record with a depleted roster and winning his last 8 games in 2019 with the team. It confused a lot of people when he got fired at the time, but I won't get into the aftermath of that. When Flores was the coach for the Miami Dolphins, he actually called the defensive plays for the team. In his first season, they were the worst defense in the league, but in his second season, they were the 6th best in points per game, tied for 1st in interceptions, 10th in sacks, and 6th in forced fumbles. And then in 2021, his last season, they finished as a middle-of-the-pack unit. But what he brings to his defenses is something the Vikings need: aggressiveness. With the Dolphins, his defenses were both top 5 in man coverage and blitz percentage. He had blitz packages for days. With a talented player like Harrison Smith, you can utilize him in so many ways to disguise the defense. And so far in training camp, it seems like the team is gelling perfectly with him. Veteran defensive tackle Harrison Phillips took the opportunity to tell the media how flexible and versatile he is with the group. Head coach Kevin O'Connell even went into their meetings and got out the old pen and paper to take some notes from Flores. It's a perfect spot for him. Reason number 3, the best wide receiver in football. Y'all know the name Jettas, aka Justin Jefferson. It's not even up for debate at this point. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he will continue to get better and will continue to develop that connection with Kirk in his 4th season in the NFL. Jefferson single-handedly won us some games last year and was always there when we needed him. He has no weaknesses, impeccable hands, nasty route running ability. Even mastermind coach Bill Belichick double teamed him on Thursday Night Football, and he still had 139 yards and a touchdown. With him just being on the field present, he gives so many opportunities for our other pass catchers. I mean, 1st round pick Jordan Addison should see a lot of single coverage matchups. TJ Hawkinson is a nightmare matchup as well. Even 3rd string wide receiver KJ Osborne can do his thing. Jefferson just attracts so much attention from the defense that it gives all these other weapons way too many opportunities to punish defenses. And just like Cooper Kupp was the Rams' key to winning the Super Bowl in 2021, Justin Jefferson can have that same effect and shine in the brightest of moments. Regardless of the outcome of the Vikings season, it will surely entertain and give me several heart attacks, headaches, and eventful nights, because that's just what the Vikings do. If you enjoyed the video, cool. If you want to see your team get a video, leave a comment, and if it gets a shit ton of likes, that's who I will do next. Sports Nerd Marty is out.